exit off of it. Let me see really quick. I might be good.
Okay, would it be good for me to send it to you via Facebook? Because I can send you the links and the images via Facebook too, no problem.
Okay, let's drop it. All
Excuse
right.
us, everybody. Excuse us. We're trying to get this together. They bombing the brother and spamming the brothers right
Yeah,
now.
this is
We're gonna
some.
resume this, even
I,
if we have to switch it up to my platform. We're going to resume this conversation.
I
This is
mean,
very important information.
this is very important information, and I just
And again, we have the right to the freedom of information and the freedom of speech. And this is not any libel or anything like that that would break the law. We have the right to talk about this. These are the discussions that we have to have, and we do have the right to our opinion as well.
yeah, they not let. As soon as I click on, I'm getting all type of like I'm supposed to be showing like. If I wouldn't have switched the screen right now, you guys would be getting a whole eye full of stuff right now. It's just popping up retardedly. I've exited out and it's just keep coming back. Um, it got my computer running crazy. I've never seen nothing like this, and it to me it just looked like as soon as you got deep into what you were saying, here comes the shenanigans. Let me see. I exit off of everything, but I'm still about at 100%. It won't go down. I didn't turn the cameras off.
Yo, Phoenix. Yo, Phoenix, I'm sending everything to you right now.
But I was gonna say I can just stop this feed and
Okay.
pull it right back up and see if I can just get the numbers back to where they've been at the whole time we've been going live.
Yeah, why don't
I
you
see
do
you
that?
want to,
Because
you
it
want,
still says there's 16 people watching live right now.
Right, I know, and I'm still at 98%, 99% on my CPU for some reason. After the bombing, I exited out and it's still staying at 98. It's not leaving.
I bet, I'm gonna keep it running on my side. Um, just go ahead and reset on your side, crew cut.
Yeah, I'm just gonna
Um,
reset and just
and
hold on.
if we need to, we'll jump on Phoenix platform. All right.
What's going on right here? Hold on, 1 second, 1 second, 1 second.
All right.
All right, here we go. We still live. We still live. Everything didn't settle down. It's starting to go back down now. Jump back up again. I ain't, nah, I'm gonna have to shut it down. It ain't gonna let me do it. It's starting to blink and it's about to start booting folks off the live again.
I bet. Just
Ah,
go and reset then. I'm gonna keep on what I'm doing over here running.
just
So everyone is still on the line. Let's keep it moving.
oh, we good. It just asked me that I want to block them links. I said yeah, and it started dropping. Oh, okay. Here we go. All right, we're good. We're not going that way no more. All right, here we go. All right. Since we still got, ain't no need to stop it. It dropped back down to 54, 59, 58. We're good.
Okay.
We're good. We just
Okay.
stabilized. All right. All right. I'm over here.
Okay.
All right. Where we at? Now, what I'm pulling up now.
Well, I was that other article about the same thing with the Cherokee and the infiltration by the white
The
man
Gregory
going
Russ.
out there.
I think I got this
Gregory
one.
Russ. The
Oh,
situation in New
Gregory
York right
Russ.
now dealing with her.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So now, Section 8, NYCHA, also part of Housing and Urban Development. Everyone there would qualify for the trillions of dollars that they are looking to put into New York. Now they have this other man coming here to work, and he's going to be the head of New York City Housing Authority, which is very problematic. They are living with rodents. They have black mold. They are a lot of the people are sickly. A lot of the children have asthma and respiratory issues, a lot of hearing issues. Of course, the rodents, the filth, the trash, the security, there's a lot of things that are plaguing the people that currently live in throughout all of the 5 boroughs, New York City Housing Authority. So you have Greg Ross coming. Can you show the clip of this gentleman? This guy, Greg Ross,
Wait a minute.
he
I got it.
is
Hold on.
also the head of
Hold on.
HUD Section 8 in
I don't have the right.
Minnesota.
Hold on, Phoenix. I don't have
And
the right guy.
okay,
I got Ken Gray
okay,
Elk. I don't think this is the right
okay.
person.
That's the other Cherokee bandit.
Okay, all
That's
right.
the other Cherokee bandit, and this is what happened. Why so many of our people know themselves to be some sort of Cherokee of those clans, but you have people like this guy stealing from the Indians. Still, this is essentially what's happening here.
So you think it's going through the Section 3 because they really only deal in contracts and they want you to have 30% of your employment to be people of Section 3 so they can get all these big chunk of contracts and stuff?
Well, these particular contracts, that the last gentleman, that was absolutely HUD and urban development money. Where else is the funding going? No one else is getting those contracts. They're filtering it by pretending to be minorities. But they don't want to register for minorities, as minorities.
Okay.
So, but the guy Gregory Russ, I don't know if you have the link for that.
Got it.
He's coming. Okay. So now this man makes more than the President of the United States. He makes more than Donald Trump. He makes more than de Blasio, who is the current mayor of New York City. They're going to pay him $500,000 to essentially come here and redline and gentrify the project. And the projects are very diverse. It's not just a bunch of American Indians in the projects currently. There are all sorts of people from all different walks of life, different foreigners, especially in Staten Island. Staten Island is saturated, absolutely saturated with the Nigerian population, Ghanaian population. They are moving into Manhattan pretty deep. You have a big Senegalese group of people that are also living inside of the Manhattan Project. So each of the places that fall under, even Queensbridge, a lot of Persian people, and these people have a lot of kids. They also get the biggest apartments, but again, they have now they still have relatives that own the corner stores and own all of these things or whatever. So their struggle is not quite there the same. However, they still live in the same buildings, and they, dumb down their income, but they're having access to these programs. And even this is something that they're not registered for under HUD Section 3, but they're still getting the programs, whether they get it from HUD or they get it from anywhere else. The point of the matter is this has been here, and everybody that has any type of assistance from that particular agency qualifies for something more than what it is that they've been settling for now. That's the bottom line. People have to do their due diligence. You got to start reading into these things, so this way you don't have to complain about your condition so much. Now check out this article, Krewkut, if you don't mind, if you could read this article about this guy, this jewel of a guy, Greg Russ, and look at how vague he is. He's going to get paid $500,000 to commute. So when people think that they're going to be able to voice their claims to someone, a brother man or someone that looks like them, you have someone that's still going to be an empty seat, but his check is going to be really big.
Big.
So therefore, he's not even privy to some of the conditions. He's not going to be like the other lady in NYCHA that got stuck in the elevator that they said was nothing wrong with over there in Frederick Douglass houses, right? So you have people going to have to take control about every situation that they have. I don't care what it is, what condition, you're going to have to preserve it, and you're going to have to learn your place and your rights. You have to learn your proper place and your rights. So some of these things can stop being neglected. Could you read some of that article about this jewel that's coming here to this shiny diamond guy here?
Hey, look at what NYCCH new chairperson has done with Minneapolis public housing. Gregory Ross has only served as the head of Minneapolis Public Housing Authority for a little more than 2 years. But come mid-August, he will be the new leader of New York City's sprawling public housing system. Its lead paint mold, and scandals included. Gross. Have you ever been in a NYCHA, New York City Housing Authority apartment? Russ. I have walked in the NYCHA sites, but I have not actually gone in the buildings. Usually I've been in town and I kind of walk by public houses just to check it out, but I haven't been through the buildings yet. So Russ has never seen all of its problems, even without that firsthand experience. The income CEO believes the price tag to fix up NYCHA is well above 32 billion that officials here estimate. Russ, the number to do it is probably north of 40 billion gross. So you think it's much higher? I would say it's probably 45 right now. NY1 went to Minneapolis to meet the new chair and CEO of our housing authority to get his take on what it will take to fix our struggling public housing system, a system that is now under the thumb of the federal monitor, and a settlement agreement between federal prosecutors, the U.S. Department of Housing and Urban Development, HUD, and City Hall. Let me scroll up a little bit. All right. I think it could be helpful because you can see it to drive changes to meet those goals. Russ said, I have talked to the monitor several times now, and we both agreed this has to be a partnership. Russ is less than 2 months away from taking the reins, and even in his selection has already sparked controversy. A $402,000 salary and a promise to return home to Minneapolis for weekends to spend time with his family are chief among the complaints. And that boy getting a check. The new NYCHA chair is from Indianapolis, and he's going to spend a lot of time there. Gross, you are making more than the mayor, the governor, the president of the United States. There has to be some criticism to how much money you're making. Russ, I understand, but the bottom line for me is okay. I have to go there. I have the salary I have, but I have to have results for the residents, or that's the bottom line. And I think that in some way is a sign of how much dedication I had to this job, because I really believe in what we are doing here. Gross, how often will you be visiting here, Minneapolis? I haven't done any final scheduling. My family and I have some ideas about that. They are going to come see me. It's not going to be always out of town kind of thing, Russ said. The job is going to take many more hours a day than a regular job. So, for example, I would imagine 10, 12-hour days. Plus, even with this job, I am working on the weekends. That's what everybody else do, ain't it? Let's see. Let me scroll up just a little bit more.
So his working on the weekend can be on a boat out on the St. Paul River, for all we know, right? Or on the Mississippi River. And Minnesota, by the way, controls the throughway passages through the Mississippi River. You can look that up in their constitution. Don't believe me, look for yourself.
He's making more than $10,000
so now people need to, right. So people need to, and for somebody that's not going to be here, he's come to New York for leisure things and said, let me check out this spot where I'm going to be working for. And out of there's hundreds of locations throughout the entire 5 boroughs that he's going to have to visit personally. Just dozens and dozens of different housing projects that have people, that have our people in them that are sick, hailing cells, and living in some really jacked up, dangerous conditions. Faulty elevators, extreme heat. It's quite uncomfortable for a lot of people. Now, so granted, some of them have been able to, do a little better. They may have different city jobs, but the income requirements here are so astronomical that you can still struggle on what other people may seem upper middle class income. So they still qualify for these services, even if their rent, if they have to pay 95% of whatever their rent is, with respect to the 4% increase that they're allowed to do every year here in New York, I believe it is, just about 4%. which outside of these services, nobody would be able to afford. The people that are living here would not be able to afford it. Not only would they not be able to afford there, but they can't leave anywhere. So they would have to leave and go somewhere else where the cost of living is completely cheaper, uproot the family, and go and settle somewhere else while the foreigners come and enjoy themselves, and they knock down and disrespect and whitewash our monuments, our banners, and they still tell us that now, they say now that we know about it, that Native Americans can come through this door, but American Indians can't. I have a problem with that. I got a problem with all of it. So, it's HUD Section 3. This is an opportunity for a lot of people to be able to level up. So, and it is imperative. Again, the American Indian is going to have their fight, but it's important for communities, regardless of you being American Indian or not, that you understand that these opportunities are available and you need to take advantage of them. Maybe ask questions. Start pulling out some FOIL requests on these people. You don't know anything about these people, and you have to start making sure you know who it is that you are putting in charge to be responsible for whatever it is that you end up crying about in the end. The same way Barack Obama, he disappointed the American Indian. He disappointed quite a bit of us in a really major way, and now you have these other people who are pandering for votes. And, whatever they say about Donald Trump, I believe that he knows exactly some of the issues that we are facing. I spoke briefly about the text with his son, and his son's not, half the guy that they say his father is, that's for sure, because his son deleted the text. But he simply asked the question, is it true that Kamala Harris and people like her are culturally appropriating, basically pandering for votes off of the so-called black American experience? And the answer is yes. The answer is yes. The answer is absolutely yes. So these are some of the things. You got these gatekeepers that are assisting the Wasichu in stealing and robbing from the Indians. So people got to be careful and do their due diligence and understand what it is that they're participating in. And if you are unaware of what exactly you're participating in, it's probably a good idea to ask somebody, bring it up in some sort of discussion, and make sure you get clarity on it.
Ready? Ready for me to read on?
Go for it.
Even though the Minneapolis public housing system is clearly much smaller than that of New York City, Russ has still managed to get some critics. He is a very charming man, so when you meet him, said Landon Yusuf of Defend Glendale and Public Housing Coalition, people always have a positive response until you see what he does on paper. Russ has built a reputation for using a federal program known as RAD, that's R-A-D, which turns over properties to private nonprofit developers to infuse developments with funding to make repairs. It has stirred controversy in the Twin Cities and given fuel to Russ critics. So after he did something jacked up, he trying to move and jump ship to something bigger without even cleaning up the mess he did in the little small town, in the smaller city.
Correct. That is correct. And the problem is that the people, I'm afraid that they are going to let them. I don't live in public housing. I never grew up in public housing, but I am concerned because I have grown up with people that live in public housing, and I'm concerned about all the plus people. So this is something that, they should be worried about. They should be worried about these things. Who's coming? Who are the people in your neighborhood? Greg Russ, somebody has to hold him to task, and it would be a cycle of vicious events after the other in catastrophe. If during his tenure everything about NYCHA goes down. I've been informed that some of the actual tenants in some of the houses, I'm not certain about Wilson, but I would like to say Wilson, on the 106 and Park side, And then you have Frederick Douglass houses, especially those in those prime areas in Manhattan. Anything in the Upper West Side, the Upper East Side, the Lower East Side, the lower, those places are target markets where they're looking to, put up different cathedrals for places that you can't worship in. They're going to take down all of the community centers. They are removing places of your basketball courts, just how the Native Americans, sometimes they keep chiseling away at whatever land was assigned to them in those places and building golf courts over it. And this is the same thing. They're taking away from the projects. They're taking the basketball courts. They're taking the little ladybug sprinklers, the seesaws, the swings. All that shit is going. All of it's going. And you're going to have to find yourself going to the major parks just in order to let the kids run around and do what they do and enjoy themselves. So this is what's happening. The community centers are getting shut down. You have whole families that have been there for decades. People got married in some of those community centers, had baby showers, wedding receptions, all sorts of things that have kept them afloat all throughout these decades that they have lived there. And now those days are going to come to the end, especially for the elders that will be going on that, and sometimes they are transferable generation to generation. I've seen it happen. So it can be transferred. But I don't think people are keeping up on top of it. And, that 9-bedroom that Grandma had now is going to be turned into a 5-bedroom that looks better than everybody else's apartment that's in there as they move a foreign family inside that particular unit. So people need to be very, very cautious, and also, I would say poke around a little bit. Don't be afraid. Be appropriately nosy, especially if it concerns you and your well-being. See who these people are around you, so you're not shadow boxing and you know exactly how to defend yourself from whom, and you are able to, start making sure a lot of these other people don't win so much because they're not living right. You want to know why you ain't winning? There's some reasons why you're not winning, and we got to get rid of the players that are not playing fair. That's pretty much it. Starting with Gregory Russ, and we can go on and on and on for days. There's so many people that are complicit in our detriment and our oppression.
They getting it. They getting paid off our struggle. They ain't playing. Oh, my bad.
The money's there. We're just not getting the check.
And billions of dollars have been allocated for us every year since 1968. That's what.
Yo, hey, check it out, right? So I'm ready to go in. You know what I'm saying? I know we got Terry Bull with us, and I believe Chief Bluefeather's with us. I definitely would like for their presence and their insight and perspective to be shared as well. Before I go, you know what I mean? So, the floor is open. This is a serious subject matter to everyone that's listening, whether live with us right now or those that's going to be listening once we place this video on our YouTube channels, right? Basically, we have a duty to ourselves and each other, to our communities, etc. You know what I'm saying? So I'm just going to leave that right there for now. Terry, Chief Bluefeather, whoever wants to go first, feel free.
Greetings, Ali Thomas and Sahani Gadali, Chief Bluefeather.
Yeah, Alito, how you doing?
Hi, how are you? I just want to say, Ali Target, and thanks for your information and sharing it out with the public. It's excellent commentary, and I can't agree with you more with regard to pursuing this 100% and not taking no for an answer, knowing the players and knowing the people who are in the heads of the departments and making contact with them. So we did go to recently the HUD Summit in 2019, and a lot of information was shared. However, they kind of glossed over and kind of went around and circumvented the issue of PIH, the public Indian housing. So we didn't, wait around to wait for them to explain it to us. But what we did do was kind of reach out to particular heads of departments that were there to get the context of the direct links of people who we need to be in contact with. And that's pretty much where we are standing right now with our Indian housing proposal and, the things that we're working to put together so that we can remedy the situation of housing insecurity and homelessness in the service areas that we are working in and beyond, in any way that we can help any other organizations that are working, because I'm always, supportive and happy to see anyone that's in the grind just doing the work that we need to promote our indigenous rights. So that's pretty much where we stand. We made contact with the regional director, which is the region that we are working with is the largest in the country. So since we met them in person and they promised to help, so we're going to hold them accountable to their words. So that's what we're working on right now.
Well, I can say to that is that when you go down and apply, there's different ways that you can apply for Section 3. They have an online, it's HUD.gov. You can put Section 3 or Spears. You can put Gov. I'll pull it up before I get off real quick. But and then you'll have a portal for residents and you will have a portal for business. Now, you can just go down, and they kind of challenged us at the summit to tell people you're supposed to be able to just go down to your local projects, as we said, and go to the main office and go in there and tell them that you would like to apply and take advantage of Section 3 benefits for being a Section 3 resident. And if they act like they don't know nothing that you're talking about, immediately report them. Make sure you report them. Because we was told to make sure that we report any housing authority that don't have a representative or someone to explain and tell you how to take advantage of Section 3.
That's any program. Challenge anything. Whatever it is that they deny you of, I don't care what it is, Medicaid, food stamps, whatever it is, you always challenge everything. If you do not rebut it, then it stands. You have a right to a fair hearing in any event for whatever it is.
What you say, Phoenix? Was you saying something?
Can you share with them the ones that we looked up? There were 2 housing authorities that actually gave us examples of how they accessed Section 3 and the successes that they had. So we've been trying to get in contact with them so we can actually do some field work. I like to do hands-on and be in the field and looking and seeing what people are actually doing. But, Kruka, if you want to share what you found out, some information on the 2 locations that we're trying to go and visit.
That will be Rome, which will be, I would say, about 45 to 50 miles north of Atlanta. And then the other city will be LaGrange, which will be 45 to 60 miles south of Atlanta. And as of right now, they are the only ones who's acting to know anything of HUD to be utilizing helping the community. But everywhere else in every other county was majority our people there. They know nothing of HUD. Even when you go in the office, we was told to go downtown to the main field office, and they still, when you get to the front, they still act as if they know nothing of what we're talking about.
And who did they put in the front? So I remember Phoenix was talking about how they put people in the front to make it look like that you're using it accurately when they were, this was actually a live feed that they showed at the summit. But if you saw, they were all brown faces. But when you actually look up the demographics in those particular housing authorities, it's not exactly what we think.
That is correct. That is correct.
So was you asking me about one of the PowerPoint from the other night?
Yes, did you? I thought I sent all of them to you all.
I have one right here.
And I think it was the one from the guy who's over the director. I think he's the director of the contract. He's the one, I think the slide actually, their head PIH office is in Denver. But like you said, he said the office that we need to locate is right there in the ATL office. But like you said, when we try to reach out to that office, it's either no one responds or the phone doesn't work or, folks act like they don't know what you're talking about. That's why we're going to go just directly through the directors. Yeah.
I pulled it up. This is LaGrange Housing Authority Section 3 Opportunities Program. Now, I've been to LaGrange plenty of times, and if you go through their hood, it's a very diverse project. It's not like up here where, it's kind of like 50-50. It's just as many as white people than it is colored people in the apartment. So, and then it makes you be like, oh, I wonder why they would use it here. But this is what they're doing. The Grange Housing Authority believes in empowering our residents through self-sufficiency. The Housing Authority has implemented 3 Section 3 programs to assist in accomplishing this goal. Life Skills Academy, Summer Youth, and Resident Employment. Now, that's what they showed us at the summit was the residential employment. How people like Phoenix was just saying, if you was under Section 8, you automatically qualify for these benefits. Now, what this lady was telling us that she works in the office of, and the residents that didn't have jobs, she went and signed them all up under Section 3, no problem. And now a lot of those people now are living in their own homes and are directors of different parts of programs that they have going on. But like I said, I haven't seen it in the urban area, and then also they told us to make sure we report these people. Let's see, the Housing Authority is committed to providing a holistic approach to changing the lives of our residents. We have provided a 12-week series of classes that would enhance and develop life skills. That 12-week theory class is just another proposal. They encompass the biological, physical, and mental aspect of life. The Life Skills Academy is a mandatory requirement for any resident that is unemployed. Each class is required to create, plan, and execute a service project. The Life Skills Academy was created to assist our residents in becoming self-sufficient. Now, they're talking about their residents that live in the project, but that's just not the Section 3 residents. Section 3 covers 1 mile square radius around any projects in any community. They will be labeled as a Section 3 community. Let's see. The life skill talents skills class will have the following goals: health issues, graduate on time, will find employment. They say 80% will find employment, 100% will service project, 50% will attend school. So they're already giving a percentage of what they're gonna do, I guess, of how much they'll deal with. Such some program. So that's basically all they're doing. They have a program. Here we go. Resident employees. The Grange Housing Authority offers employment to our residents as means of subsistence. We currently employ 3 residents as environmental specialists. I think we met those 3. The residents work each day, Monday to Thursday, making sure our properties are trash free and assist in our preparations for React. So basically, they get some folks and they pay them good to do a job under Section 3, but they have jobs that, like she say, you're under Section 3, go down there to the Housing Authority. If you live in the projects or not, just go in there and tell them that you need any of these programs, see what programs that they have already, and take advantage of them. And if they act like they don't know what you're talking about, report them.
It'd be good if you could do a watch on them, Krewkut. like with all the advice of telling people to go down and checking, even calling, and tell them that you want to, the information that you want to get, but be able to bring that information back, and like we're doing like a human rights watch. I like to use the word human, but indigenous rights or Aboriginal rights watch, where we kind of can actually expose those places that are not doing the right thing, through our own media network. And I thought that would, be a good idea to help safeguard so that, people aren't just getting lost. And because you can call, I know the experience of sending people around the mountain. So if you don't want to take those trips around that mountain, and you just want to, so they're not sending you all over the place and want to keep it focused and centered. I think maybe it'd be a good idea if people can send in, responses to you all to say, this is what happened when I went there. And, somewhere we could create our own little database of responses of how we are interacting with those who are supposed to be the gatekeepers of Section 3. Just an idea.
Tony, you want to say anything? Phoenix?
Oh yeah, absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. I'm ready to go. I just want to, before I go in, I just want to hear everyone. I want everybody to be well received from their experience, their perspective and insight. I'm trying to see if Terry Bow is still with us. So Terry, you with us?
Yeah, I'm still here.
Excellent. Hey Terry, based on everything that's been shared and what you're aware of regarding HUD Section 3, I would love your perspective right now for not only myself but everyone else listening.
Hey, it's an opportunity, We've been sleeping on it for far too long. It's time to start putting boots on the ground. And now that we got this vehicle to utilize, it only makes sense. Let's start putting these applications in.
All right, that's a bet, man. I appreciate that. So, Krewkut, let me ask real quick, can you pull up that that image that I sent that shows Lyndon B. Johnson and Martin Luther King Jr. together signing the Civil Rights Act? I believe that it was 64. Can you pull up that page? Appreciate it. Yeah, I just want to add some emphasis to how serious this is for our American people right now. 1968 to 2018, right? That's 50 years. We approach 2020 right now. A lot of our American people have had so many unfortunate experiences. Poverty levels. I sent Krewkuts some links to statistics. Some of y'all may be aware. I like to present statistical information. Consumer data reports pertaining to the quote unquote Black African American. And for this presentation, I found some links, some research links, census records dealing with quote unquote Black poverty from 1968 forward. You know what I'm saying? All of this stuff is documented. And in our recent A4 Pure discussions, the law classes, right? And especially since we become aware through Krewkuts and Chief Bluefeather here regarding HUD Section 3, right? Basically, we're recognizing this program being used by the foreigners for their gentrification efforts. All right. So now, in some places, like I was living in LA nearly 10 years, and you have Russians, people straight from Russia, Armenia. You have various breeds of foreigners that are coming into communities, Watts, Inglewood, Compton, etc., throughout the metropolitan cities in which our people have populated forever, pretty much, right? And so anyway, these people are receiving these resources to not only engage in businesses and housing, but also building themselves up to gentrify our communities. All right, yeah, Krewkuts, thank you for pulling that up. Yeah, thank you for blowing it up too. So as we see here, right, I'm gonna go ahead and read it real quick. So this right here, this page is from the A4 Pure, the implications and ramifications of artificial Black identity, a legal chronology of the Americas, 1492 through 1968. Phoenix Moon, Chief Teregua, Afana, and myself, Tomahawk Tony, we put this text together, this document together some months ago. So it says here on 2nd July 1964, Johnson signed the Civil Rights Act of 1964, a far-reaching bill he hoped would eliminate the last vestiges of injustice in America. All right? King stood behind Johnson as he signed the bill into law. Fast forwarding now. 4 days later, on the 4th of April, 1968, King was assassinated. Johnson wrote in his memoir that he had rarely felt a sense of powerlessness so more acutely than the day Martin Luther King Jr. was killed. Less than a week later, Johnson invoked King's memory when he signed into law the Civil Rights Act of 1968. 1968, President Johnson signs the Indian Civil Rights Act. Now, there's emphasis there, okay? Continuing, President Johnson calls for termination to be replaced by Indian self-determination. Congress passes the Indian Civil Rights Act to ensure that the American Indian is afforded the broad constitutional rights secured to other Americans. Now, so much has happened since 68. So much is happening right now. As Phoenix was sharing regarding the situation in New York with this Gregory Russ guy, how many more Gregory Russes are out here that are engaged in misprision of a felony? Basically, these are government officials, okay, these federal employees, because they all have sworn oath to serve, protect, and defend the Constitution, right? Now, these people, in regards to misprision of a felony, well, they are engaged in embezzling. They're engaged in fraud. They're engaged in all kinds of commercial, illegal, and criminal activities. So many people have been suffering through the HUD programs, all right? In regards to poverty alone, as I was just referencing a moment ago, the statistical information that's available. Take the time to look up and communicate with those in your community, all right? The poverty between 1968 going into 2018. That information is available. And you'll see so many of our people have lost land, lost their homes, all right? So many people are in debt. Now, what this ties into is a terminology called financial or economic oppression, all right? So now you think about it. We have so many people across the country, our American people, robbing each other, killing each other, abusing each other. What's the root of this? What they say, money is the root of all evil. Well, this program right here, HUD Section 3, what does it do? For one thing, it provides housing. It provides housing, all right? So many people are homeless. Why are they homeless when there's housing resources available right now? Okay? Next to that, you have the contracts, you have employment, you have training, and you have contracts. So you have people that need employment. We have some very skilled people of ours in every community across the country, everywhere that I've been. So many of our people are experienced, whether it's in construction, whether it's in landscaping, whether it's in concrete. People that are, that's one aspect of labor, if you will. Then you also have people that are great with paperwork, great with media, various business types. People have experience in these things. Our American people have experience in these things, and yet and still these kind of programs we're not being informed of them. Now, what I say is, since 1968, we know that Martin King Jr., he was a reverend. Now, so we ask ourselves, everybody that was on the balcony with Martin Luther King, right, when he got shot, all of them dudes was reverends. Who has the most consistent entity since Martin King, since 1968 to now? Who has the most consistent entity that has not taken a hit? They act like everything is fine, huh? What'd you say?
Jesse Jackson.
Okay. What does Jesse Jackson represent? The church? Is it the church? What does he represent?
That's correct. Reverend Jesse Jackson.
Reverend Al Sharpton. Who else? How many other reverends are there? Who did Obama go see when he was going on tour before he got elected?
Reverend Wright.
Reverend Wright and so many others. And so many others, right? And so now, right, we look at it, we consider to ourselves, right? Okay, so these churches are fully aware of HUD Section 3. What funding are they using? Because it looks like those quote unquote tithes, which are really a tax. If you look up the definition of tithe, it means tax, right? So now we go ahead and we say, okay, this money that you're giving to these preacher, pastor, reverends, right? That's a donation to them. But meanwhile, they're utilizing HUD Section 3 resources to employ people, to get these contracts, right? And to build their churches, to engage in quote unquote community development, right? But at the same time, people get blacklisted from this situation. Now, we had a discussion over a week ago, it was about a week ago, right? And, with this HUD Section 3 information, I'm thinking about so many of my friends that I grew up with years ago. One of them in particular, all right, he used to be in the streets getting money. Many dudes in his community, they was doing the same thing. Well, in my mind, I'm like, yo, had our youth been made aware of HUD Section 3, where we had been competing against each other on a block, in the streets in our hoods and instead of would we have been competing against each other in that capacity, or would we have been competing against each other in regards to, getting these contracts, providing services to build our community? Because it says right here, we're going from termination to be replaced by Indian self-determination. Where's the self-determination at? Just like Phoenix showed a moment ago, right? Here it is. We have all these foreigners who's posing, they're fronting as quote unquote Native Americans and whatever else, so that they can get these quote unquote minority contracts, millions of dollars. They gain. Meanwhile, the communities in which they're supposed to serve suffer, like the people in New York and those Frederick the Douglass homes and etc. Right? There's contracts to make sure that there's no lead, or if there is lead, the lead will be removed for asbestos, etc. So basically, what I want to encourage y'all to do is look into HUD Section 3 for yourselves. On a4pure.com, we have many PDFs provided by Chief Bluefeather and CrewKuts. We also have other PDFs that we've been able to source. We had a conference call a couple weeks ago. That audio is available by a guy, corporate dude, over 22 years experience dealing with these HUD Section 3 contracts. That audio is available. He's sharing real world perspective and insight on this subject here. Real serious subject matter. I would encourage y'all, definitely look into this for yourselves. Talk about it amongst your peoples. Next to that is CrewKut. Can you pull up HUDexchange.info? The CrewKut, you here?
Yeah, I'm here. Send me
I bet. Yeah, go online and pull it up real quick. HUDexchange.info. So yeah, everybody, go to HUDexchange.info. I'm gonna put it right here in the chat box, right here in the comment section. www.HUDexchange.info. Basically, this is what's going on, right? Go to HUDexchange.info, and there's other HUD.gov websites as well. This one right here is for informational purposes. A lot of great information on here. Got to filter through some things, of course. Be cool because it's serious. You know what I'm saying? I'm about to show y'all something a little serious. Anyway, you can register, as was mentioned earlier. They've got the residential opportunities or programs, and they also have the business. So if you have a business, you can participate in these HUD contracts. All right? You can participate in these things. I bet. CrewKut, can you do me this? Go to the top of the screen to the menu where they have where it says grantees. For the menu, in the menu it says grantees. I want to show y'all something. Hey, could somebody type in the city? Type in the city. Give me just any state, any city to look up right now. CrewKut, go and pull it up. Yo, click. You gotta click on.
City.
Okay, that. Put on. All right. Cool. CrewKut, click on Welcome to HUD Exchange. Click on that link right there, real quick.
All right, where I'm going? Pull it up.
Grantees. It should say at the top in the menu. It should say grantees. So yeah, we about to put up New York real quick.
All right, I got grantees. Now where I'm going?
Okay, yeah, pardon it's a little delay on my side. So I'm not saying that
Oh,
you're
I
on
see
it,
it.
but
I see it.
okay, under
All right.
yeah,
Search by state.
yeah. So under yeah, exactly. Search by state. So Phoenix just threw out New York. Pull up New York, and then we're going to go to New York City. Let's see what programs they got in New York City. And this, you could do this for every state and every city, every county. You can see exactly who's getting this HUD Section 3 money, who's getting these contracts. You can see it. It also has contact information, so y'all can contact them. This is what we got to do.
Got 17 pages.
Huh?
17 pages.
What, 17 pages of what? For New York City?
Yeah.
That's a lot of funding. Just pull up one page. Let's pull up.
You got the vet house, AIDS community, Albany Housing Authority projects. Let me see what else we got. Community opportunities and rural development, some program, housing development, child and family services.
Hey, scroll the page over so the people can see the money. Let's show the people the money.
Oh, I don't see no money. I just see when they got the award. It says what year they got the award.
Okay, so to the right of the page, across from the entity name or the program name, it doesn't show any money.
No, it just say last HUD award and it got
Okay,
the price.
Flip it. Okay, cool. Do this then.
It got the year.
Do this. Click on the one that says CBDG and home. That one says for what city is that? Hold on, that's Amherst. Click on Amherst, CBDG and home.
Hold on.
Also Albany, New York, they have CBDG, emergency shelter, grants program, ESG, home, and HOPWA. So all of these acronyms, y'all got to get familiar with these because those are the actual programs which y'all can tap into. These are the resources that's available for y'all. Been available. This is a real serious situation. Our people have been denied this, like like Phoenix was saying earlier. These gatekeepers, man.
All right, there you go.
These gatekeepers.
We got
This is one of the gates right here.
They got 3 million. Am I saying that right? Yeah, that's me.
Yeah, I appreciate everyone's presence too. I know this been pretty long.
ESG got 278,000. Home got 922,000. CDG, they get 3 million every year, don't they? What they got going on? CDBG,
People got to look into it.
Yeah, you gotta look into it.
CBDG means Community Block Development Grant.
Oh yeah, that's
Community Block Development Grant. That means that this is for the community to be developed. This is funding to develop the community that are allocated every year. Every year, who's getting that money to develop the community? Is your community being developed in the favor of you and your people, or is it being developed in favor of these other people? With this program, this was designated for our American people 50 years ago. 50 years ago. Funding, year after year, 50 years. Millions, billions of dollars. People have been distracted with this reparation situation. This is the reparations right here. This is the 40 acres and a mule. When King said, what did King say again? He said, I'm coming to get the check. Hey, Phoenix, is that what he said?
Yeah, we're going to watch.
That's correct.
We want to watch and get our check. And this check is being issued every year. Every year. For what? Indian self-determination? We're going from termination to Indian
That's
self-determination.
Right. Self-determination.
Self-determination. People talk about reparations. Why? You got to prove you're a slave. The foreigners can easily prove that they're slaves. But this right here, this ain't got nothing to do with none of that. That's a whole nother subject matter. It's not realistic. What's realistic is this right here. You can see the numbers. You can see the people to contact on here. People are talking and texting every day. Who you talking and texting to? What you talking and texting about? Because this right here, how you can improve your life, the lives of those around you. I mean, people got all kinds of problems. I mean, what was it, a week or two ago, A woman sent a question to the A4 pure law class regarding her landlord. She was getting Section 8, right? She got a Section 8 home, right? Landlords fabricating these false debts and bills, thousands of dollars, right? She's disabled. She's stressed out, so much crazy things. She's under a lot of pressure, right? Yo, Section 8 took her housing voucher. They took a Section 8 voucher due to the landlord's false debt. It was proven in court that it was fraud. You see what I'm saying? Nobody made her aware of HUD Section 3. This woman has incredible experience. She's worked for big media, corporate media, right? Yo, she has a background in community advocacy. Great experience. She's not the only one. She's being evicted right now. How many people are having these kind of experiences across the country? How many people are concerned with the well-being of our American people out here? This is what we're doing this for right now, so y'all can be informed. Y'all can get busy. Y'all can inform each other. Y'all can call y'all relatives. Y'all can speak to your neighbors. Y'all go to the liquor stores. Y'all go wherever y'all go. Y'all go to the grocery store. Talk about it. Inform each other about it. Simple website, HUDexchange.info. Gives you great information about what's going on in your community, where the funds is going, what the funds are for.
A lot of folks taking advantage.
And like HUD says, yes. Yeah, but meanwhile, the vast majority of our people don't know nothing about it, right? That's crazy, right? That's crazy, right? The money that you see right here is just a piece. It's just a piece. There's so much more. You can get an individual grant yourself for your business. You can get a home for yourself. They have land acquisition programs. Take a look at the HUD resources that's available. This is not a game at all. These people have been withholding this information from our American people. To this day, they're withholding this information. Why did not talk about this on the radio? Why did not talk about the BET Awards, etc.? So many of our people's good energy is going into these foreign, fictitious, defamation of character, denationalization, propaganda programs, right? That the foreigners profit us tremendously, right? No, we got to kill all of that. This is what we need to be putting our energy and attention into. If you're a business owner, you could benefit. If you're homeless, you could benefit. If you're in transition, you could benefit. This program is designated specifically for the low income and the very low income. How many people do you know that fits into that criteria of being low income and very low income?
Ooh, somebody got a block grant for $23 million last year, 2018.
Look at that. Well, Pamela Hall, I see your question. So can you use this land? Can you use this for land to build on? They do have land acquisition programs from what I've seen. There's also various contracts for renovation, pretty much community block development. So, for example, if you're in a community that is considered a HUD Section 3 zone, I believe it's called, right? Basically, you can basically secure resources through HUD so that you can do this. So you can get the land and build, do whatever you got to do. We're talking about contracts here. We're talking about good commerce here for our American people to tap into, to utilize self-determination. This is what it's about. So yeah, y'all, we doing this to inform everyone. You know what I'm saying? We've been talking about it a couple weeks, a couple months, etc. You know what I'm saying? And everybody's schedule. We was able to come together today just a little bit. Not everybody was able to get on, but we're approaching like 3 hours or something like that. So it's just a serious subject, and we just want to get this information to y'all. Yeah, I don't know if anyone else want to jump in. I don't know if there's any questions.
Yeah, I think this is I appreciate what you said. I get it. I agree.
Hey, Pamela Hall, I see you. So where do I go find that at? HUDexchange.info. Go to HUDexchange.info, and then you can see the different programs, CBDG, Community Block Development Grant. All right. There's some other there's PDFs about it. You can look up, run a Google search on HUD Section 3 PDF. You can do 2017, 2018, 2019. You can go back. I found a PDF as far back as 2010. You know what I'm saying? So you can definitely find out who to contact. There's people in your community. There's people in your state, in your city, in your county, etc., that has this information. We have to put our time and energy into reaching out to these people, finding out what's going on. And if these people try to play dumb, act like they don't know nothing, that's when you contact DC. You put them complaints in. Put them complaints in, file complaints.
Keep a record
Let the feds know. That's right, keep a record. Keep a record of everything. This is a serious legal situation. Public Law 90-284. You can get it on governmentprintingoffice.gov. You can get the original or one of the oldest forms of it. Also, you can look up Phoenix Moon. If you want to search on Phoenix Moon, Public Law 90-284, she's done a lot of presentations over the years regarding it. These are things in which you could do, you know what I'm saying, while you're doing your genealogy. You know what I'm saying? Structuring your businesses and all of that. SBA is involved with this too. Isn't that interesting? Small Business Administration have a hand in his HUD Section 3 situation here. So many of us have heard of the SBA, but we never heard of HUD Section 3. So many of us have heard of Section 8, but we never heard of HUD Section 3, right? We got to ask ourselves why. We got to look around and ask who's known about this and why did they not inform us about this? What they say, the game is to be sold, not told. Yeah. The game is to be sold, not told, right? And people still trying to sell this. So yeah, we getting in front of this right now.
You gotta pay attention.
Yeah, we getting ahead of this right here. We want everybody to be informed. That's what it is. We ain't trying to sell y'all this. It's been for us.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But yeah, man. I ain't got much more to say. I appreciate everybody. Much appreciate you, American people. You know, Phoenix Moon, Chief Teregua, Chief Tomahawk, CoachKrewkut, Terry Bow, Chief Blue Feather. You know what I'm saying? All our American people. You know what I'm saying? I see y'all up in the chat. Everybody in the chat. Everybody, man. I appreciate everybody. A4 Pure, A4 Truth. You know what I'm saying? Check us out, man. We ain't playing over here.
Yes, indeed. No, we're not playing. It's not a game. Coward season is over. Feathers up, everybody. Check out phoenixmoon.live. I want to thank everybody that was on the panel this evening, and definitely our gracious host, KrewKut. Appreciate you, Coach.
Thank you. No problem. Thank you all for bringing the information. And that's all I want to do. That's my whole goal is to get this information out here so everybody can have it. That's the whole goal. That's it. I ain't got nothing else to say. Anybody else got anything they want to say?
I'm just going to say this real quick. We will be uploading this to our YouTube channels. You got Phoenix Moon channel. CoachKrewkut has his channel. Maybe the Fauna Chiefs are going to put it on their channel. I'm Tomahawk Tony, and I'm going to put it on one of my channels. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, we're trying to get it out there.
We're going to get it out there.
Oh yeah, Two Hawks, man. Yeah, man. Two Hawks is great, man. Yeah, he did. He got some great work. Look up Two Hawks. Raymond L. Watson. Look him up. He done some great work. Got some great videos on YouTube. Great information. You know what I'm saying? They doing some great work. You can learn a lot. You know what I mean? You can get a lot done. It's simply a matter of initiative. You know what I'm saying? Keeping your energy centered, focused on your true objectives out here. Don't get caught up in these distractions and the propaganda, and etc. I say kill confusion, kill propaganda, kill your TV, kill foreign media. You know what I'm saying? This is very important.
I probably missed a message. My phone died in this broadcast, so I'll get back over the feed and get to everyone. Other than that, yeah, this was great. This was awesome. I have to go back and listen to this myself. So that's all I got to say. Chief Blue Feather, you still on? You might be gone. Is anybody on?
Yeah, I'm here.
You want to say anything before we close out?
I just say I'm thankful for just to see the spirit moving, the great spirit moving among us out of Chicago. Hey, our great mother's alive in us, and we're helping to bring balance to our people. And there's, there are a lot of good programs and things out there. So hopefully, I hope you guys will continue to do this, and we can just keep adding to it. Like Title V and there's some other things. I'll just Krewkut, I'll upload some things to you, that you can share. Some other doors that are there that are open, for us to go and walk through as well. So I'm just thankful for you all and your work.
Everybody?
Yeah, okay.
Yo, hello?
I was saying if Terry
Did things get disconnected?
Oh, no. She had ended.
No, I'm still here.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I heard you saying something. I heard you say y'all cocaine and all of that. All right. But you were going to go continue. But yeah, I appreciate everyone. I'm about to get back into this work. You know what I'm saying? Much appreciation.
Yeah, to people that you care.